are some huge changes happening to our theme parks here in the UK, with even more ride removals taking place. Kingda Ka has finally fallen down by only one track piece, and a beloved European theme park has finally began retracking 2 of their extremely rough wooden roller coasters, and it makes my week hearing that. So as per usual, busy. It's been one heck of a week, because all that and even more has happened this past week in theme parks. Yes, that's right, we are back again for the 8th week in a row. Would you believe it? And as per usual with this very consistent series, a lot has happened. So if you want to skip to specific news stories that pique your interest more, then use the video progress bar chapters below. And click the subscribe button whilst you're at it. The new 2025 season is almost upon us. So not only will this series continue, but there'll be so many more videos about theme parks and stuff. So yeah, if you want to keep up to date with everything that's going on, and see all of that, subscribe to join the journey. And how about we journey into this news, shall we? Oh, these segues are already awful. How much worse could it get? And to begin, of course, we're going to go through our always jam-packed quick fire segment. It's going to come at you quickly. So we're going to move overseas to America, where Six Flags Magic Mountain have been clearing out an area for their brand new one-of-a-kind Vekoma thrill coaster. Of course, the plans came out a while back for Vekoma to build some sort of weird flying coaster, but you're also riding a motorbike. It was a bit weird, but also looked cool, and the area for that seems to be being cleared out. Carowinds have had the demolition permit granted for the removal of their River Rapids ride to make way for whatever this thing is. I know it's a low quality image, but funny. Lots of demolition and selling going on as usual, except from at ZDT Amusement Park. Back again, that switchback roller coaster. It really did a boomerang on us. The very unique wooden roller coaster. Last week, we thought it was on sale and going to be sold off to another park. Speculation arose, where could it go? And then the park came out and officially said it's not on sale, and it's currentely operating. We're always 100% factual here on TPWITP. Some new images of Rapterra at King's Dominion have been shared, and it's all to do with the theming in the area. This park is now owned by Six Flags, and they're doing theming. What is going on? You can see over the launch straight that awesome looking rock work, and then we even have some like concepts and stuff of other parts of the area, including the entrance and all the stuff like that. And it's also been testing with riders. I know it's a very bouncy launch straight by the looks of it, but I sure hope they enjoyed it. As I hope the people over at Epic Universe enjoyed their rides on Stardust and the Donkey Kong roller coaster too, because I'm definitely not jealous. Because yes, there are previews taking place for team managers over at Epic Universe. And next up on the news is the fact that I'm going to become a team manager for a week so I can go to Epic Universe. But no, this is really cool to see, and I can't wait to hear maybe some reviews from certain rides if they're allowed to, and see it actually open in about 90 days. Talking of Universal, they have actually announced their all-round horror unleashed place in Las Vegas is going to open on the 14th of August. That's one day after a very cool birthday. Mine. But they've shared some concept art of what the inside of some of the mazes and stuff are going to look like, and as much as it's not really my thing, I'm not too bothered about traveling that far for a singular horror event. I can understand why people over in America and even over here might want to travel out. So yeah, 14th of August, go. Talking of opening days, on March 15th, not only does a ride here in the UK open, I'll get onto that later, but Georgia Gold Rusher opens over at Six Flags over Georgia. The sort of brand new Boomerang ride by Intamin, and it looks quite cool. That's about it. And in the quickfire segment, the one thing I didn't want to talk about for ages was Siren's curse at Cedar Point. But I have to mention it one more time, sadly, because what actually looks pretty amazing on it, the front car of the trains has been revealed. I think the park opened for like a winter event, and they showcased the front car of the trains, and they have like this really cool light package, and it's quite a nice colour scheme, you know. I'm a fan. I'm just not a fan of constantly talking about that ride in this series. Not only have Cedar Point shown those front cars, but also they have had a special delivery. They posted on their socials that they've had this big box arrive, and what could this big box mean? Now, because that was posted before the front car was shown of Siren's Curse, it could just be related to that, but other people do believe it might be Top Thrill 2's new trains. It could be that, or it could just be that front car. Six Flags Mexico has a Boomerang that is receiving new trains, and it's going to be themed to Batgirl, and will now have these trains as seen here. They don't look very new style, but I like them. That came in a big box too. I wonder if Cedar Point has just got the Batgirl new train number 2. Good to see some previous rides being upgraded though. The same could be said for Twister at Knoebels, one of their many wooden roller coasters, and this is actually getting a little bit of retrack work. As you can see on your screen right now, you've got some wood on there and it's looking fresh. What else am I supposed to say about a retrack? And once again, Universal are releasing loads of news, as they do every week, not only about that new Horror Unleashed thing, but also the new kids theme park in Texas, because they have officially announced what characters and what themed lands we can expect. And sadly, with a lot of these being DreamWorks, they haven't included Wallace and Gromit and the Curse of the Were-Rabbit. I will be at opening day with my pitchfork. I mean, pitchforks are quite relevant because Shrek is going to be there. We've also got Puss in Boots will be making an appearance. The Trolls Park Hub with DreamWorks Gabby's Dollhouse. What is that? Jurassic World will be making an appearance, and you've also got Minions. Oh, I love the Minions. Banana. And even Nickelodeon's SpongeBob SquarePants will be making an appearance in there too. I'm excited to see it be built. It's obviously not for me, but it's a new theme park in the US. But what about the ones in the UK? Well, we are rumoured to get a new Universal Studios park, and what's interesting is a new statement by someone at Universal. The chairman and chief executive officer, to be precise. An expansion in Los Angeles, which of course is the Hollywood park. We know they're getting the new drift coaster called Hollywood Drift, but that sounds like a huge expansion is going to come on top of that, so we might see some work on that soon. But alongside that, they mentioned Epic Universe, also the mention of Wicked attractions that may be considered, and the major park for Britain was mentioned too. I know we pretty much expect it to be confirmed in coming months, but that just shows you they are still hard at work on this Universal Bedford plan, and I do genuinely think if this happens, it will be one of the best theme parks in Europe. But you thought I was going to say, now we'll head over to Europe. No. We've got one more thing to report on, and that is the fact Kingda Ka at Six Flags Great Adventure has fallen by one track piece. Obviously, there was a document found about imploding the ride, and that was supposed to have taken place already, but that got extended till the 3rd of March in the past week. We're back again! But despite that delay, they have already started taking down even more of the structure, and one of the pieces has fallen. Someone who literally sat right opposite Kingda Ka for many hours managed to capture in a very, very small pixelated distance a singular track piece and quite a few supports just falling to the ground. So yeah, Kingda Ka has started to fall down, and I'm sure it will all fall down in the next week or so. So subscribe so you don't miss when I report on that. And over to places that are near Europe, because we need to talk about Legoland Korea's new roller coaster that has officially been started with its construction based on the Lego Ninjago franchise. And from this one concept art that you can see after they released the fact that they'd started construction, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks to be a family Mack spinning roller coaster, which not only fits that theme perfectly, but also makes me think, what if there's one in store at Legoland Windsor? There is the land of Viking River Splash that is still derelict to this day, so can you imagine a Mack spinning coaster there? Maybe I'll make a video about that and actually make the coaster there soon. 1,000 likes and I'll do that. But we love to see new rides opening, as we do over in Europe, because there's quite a few interesting things going on here. Wiener looping over at Wiener Prater obviously got topped off very recently, and as much as it's not testing yet, they have installed the trains on the track. And you may be looking at this image and thinking that's just a normal train for the ride. What's interesting is one of the trains has one row facing forwards and the other row facing backwards. We know Mack rides love to do stupid and crazy things, and I love them for this. Having that backwards row, it's going to be such an incredible experience doing that ride backwards. We should probably see that open very soon. I also like to see that Efteling are going to reopen the Vliegende Hollander ride. I hope I got that right. Their water coaster at the park, which I have visited the park twice and never been on it because it kept breaking down, and then the next time it was under maintenance for it to reopen on the 18th of April with a brand new scene. Here's some concept art of what that scene is supposed to look like, but yeah, we have a confirmation date when it's going to reopen. Hopefully the next time I go, I'll be able to get on it. Everyone I speak to about Efteling says it's like the best thing there, or one of the best, so missing out on it twice, I hate my life. But I love Efteling, so I'll happily go back. And one of my favourite parks as well is Portaventura World in Spain. And not only in this past week have they announced that they are repainting Dragon Khan to its original colour scheme, mainly for its 30th anniversary, but also because why not? It's a cool ride. Paint it. Looks cooler. But they have also shown the fact they are retracking 2 of their extremely rough wooden roller coasters, Stampeder. Now these 2 rides are just 2 generic wooden roller coasters, but the layouts on them are just incredible. And you can really see why it's incredible when you realise John Wardley was the one that designed it. But the one problem is it was extremely painful, and that took away from the ride. So to see a new update from it where they are retracking it with Titan Track, which for those of you that don't know, it's basically steel track on a wooden roller coaster. Is this now an RMC? No, but it looks amazing. I'm so happy they're actually retracking it, and I think they might only be retracking that one turn just to test it out. But from that point, we might see even more retracking work and maybe some new trains, which I think that entire thing coming together, it's going to be one of the best wooden roller coasters out there. Great news for all you British watchers out there, because we are now heading from Europe to the UK. We are back in the motherland. I don't really know why stepping this way and then that way makes me travel, but it does. UK quickfire segment activated. Planning permission has been granted over at Chessington to actually start building Project Play, their brand new family themed area with multiple flat rides and a new roller coaster. Great to see that getting planning granted. Extra ride time has returned on specific dates at Alton Towers for hotel and no, there's no spa. Hotel guests. This time, Nemesis Reborn, Runaway Mine Train and CBeebies Land will all be open from 9 AM for hotel guests. Stealth at Thorpe Park has finally opened on Roblox. Time Machine at Adventure Island, the insane, intense flat ride, has been spotted at the park, ready to be reassembled and to open this year. The only Thrill Vekoma Boomerang left in the country, Wipeout over at Pleasurewood Hills, is almost coming to the end of its repaint that it is having, and it looks very nice and fresh. It has been noticed that Legoland Windsor are going to be having a massive refurbishment project on their train at the park, and that is going to include many different characters and different minifigures that you'll see along the way, with new train and new station refurbs as well, so that'll be nice. And once again, the UK parks are now closed. Last week I spoke about the fact that some of them open for Pirate Takeover, Alton Towers, where were the other ones? Legoland Windsor, Paulton's Park and stuff, but they're all shut again until the main season. See, your boy just remember that all in his head. I should just stand an information kiosk, shouldn't I? But there has been a couple big things happen in the UK, other than what's already happened, because all of them were pretty big anyway. The first of which being Toxicator at Alton Towers has finally had its opening day announced, and that is of course going to be the 15th of March, the same as Georgia Gold Rusher, if you care. And they released a very cool video with drone shots, and you can actually see quite a few different things down on the site that are very interesting. So if you want to see my full reaction and full in-depth analysis, I know I went actual deep analysis mode for once, then check out the video on screen and in the top right if you would like to see that. But speaking of Alton Towers, Garmondale, which is an engineering company, posted about winter works at Alton Towers and have pretty much confirmed to us that the Get Set Go Treetop Adventure will be having some rerouting going on, saying that their team assisted the Towers technical crew in the removal and refitting of the ride's power rail, matching the client's specified and updated ride layout, pretty much showing that the rumours of it actually getting a new layout are true. because why would they post about this if it wasn't true? But as much as this is being removed and rerouted, something else is getting removed at Chessington World of Adventures permanently. Scorpion Express at Chessington World of Adventures has started officially being removed. And as much as this roller coaster hasn't really operated at all recently, it is still very, very sad to see it being removed. Piece by piece, all the track is disappearing to make way for that new roller coaster as part of Project Play. And somehow, despite Scorpion Express being quite a short roller coaster, the one coming in its place is even shorter. And that in itself is a huge change for Chessington World of Adventures, the new building of that area and the removal of that coaster. But one park has made even bigger changes to a monumental scale, that being Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Now, we know last week they did actually put in planning permission and it got granted for them to build 18 different apartments right outside the park, so that whoever's in the back of those different units has the big one drop right outside and they're going to get woken up at about 9 in the morning if they're not already. But what is this huge announcement from Blackpool, and does it actually mean anything major? Well, they announced various different things in this huge statement here. I'm not going to read every bit of it because it's very long, as you can tell, but there's quite a good few bits in there. To start with, they talk about Launchpad, their brand new ride for 2025. I say brand new, it's just Ice Blast, but not Tango. A refurbished version of their SNS shot tower and the hydraulic cylinder thing has actually gone in for that. But going on from that, there are some huge changes they have announced, including the fact that Grand National, a 90-year-old ride almost, and you could definitely tell when you ride it, is going to be in need of some extra care to keep her running at her best. So ahead of her birthday, they're going to carry out some essential maintenance. Pretty much stating that at the start of the season or partway through the season, Grand National will not be open. I can hear my ribs saying thank you. But in all seriousness, as rough as that ride is, it's another 2 different rides for the park, and it's a shame to see it gone for the start of the season, but I appreciate them being transparent about the refurbs, because it kind of needs it. And they also noted about the fact loads of people have been asking questions regarding river caves. One of the oldest rides in the park, a boat ride through the Tunnel of Love, and it actually has some really cool theming, but it was down for the majority, if not the whole of last year, and people wondering what's going to happen to it, but it is an anniversary year. And they have confirmed that they have an exciting announcement with their plans for the ride coming very soon, so that's really good to see again. The main change I see having a huge impact on the park is the fact they are going to be removing some of their less popular rides, as they say, in 2025. Although I say remove, they're closing them for this year, so I don't know if they will reopen them next year or if they're just getting rid of them as a whole. Including the Eddie Stobart Convoy, Alpine Rally. I don't even remember what Alpine Rally is. What is that? Thompson Carousel, Gallopers Carousel, and Red Arrow Skyforce. That's such a shame. I love Skyforce so much. I understand the throughput isn't amazing, and I think it was one of my favourite rides at the Pleasure Beach because you could just control it and go like, wee. And there's various family rides in there, including Skyforce as well, that are closing too. We're in a very difficult time with rides and operating costs, so I can understand why they do want to close these for the year and save on that running cost, but Skyforce especially, I'm sad. Again, I do appreciate the fact they're being transparent, but I also really, really wish this was announced sooner, as I do with all of these announcements that keep coming out. But then again, it might have been a recent decision, not before the end of the season, so I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going to shush. But I can't, because the most exciting part of this entire Blackpool Pleasure Beach statement, although you probably don't care because it's not in the title, thumbnail, or it's not in the video chapters. Oh, it is. It is now. They said Wallace and Gromit Vengeance Most Foul was an amazing film and they love it just as much as we do. And with them having a Wallace and Gromit ride, they just put stay tuned. You couldn't have me more excited. They're making more additions to the best dark ride in the world. It seems like every week is crazier than the last. So subscribe so you don't miss the next week's This Past Week in Theme Parks. Thanks for watching.